Okay. Hey guys, it's Kaylin here, and I thought I would do kind of like a real-time dissection of a page. This is the next page of chapter 13. I have the last panel to do, so I think I'll do that with you guys along for the ride. I've completed the first 3 panels already, so I just kind of wanted to dissect the page just a little bit to give you a little more tips on what I do. This is not necessarily the best way, but this is just what I do. And so somebody had a question about the actual panels and how I do that. If you look at my Adobe Bridge, it has all the pages to go in the chapter. I just kind of save the same file over and over again to give me a building block. It gives me the bleed room that I need. So all I have to do is just, for page 15, I just hit it and there it is. So this is a layer of, it's just a light blue-gray and with a stroke on it. So if I double click the layer, it comes up with layer style, and here's the stroke. If I select it and I toggle it off, see it's just the blue, so that white line goes away. So I took a brush and drew on this layer, it's going to give me the line for the panel. So just hold shift, make the next panel, and there it is. And then I just simply draw underneath that layer. As far as the white behind them, it's the same thing. So I just so this is their outline layer. Oh goodness, monsters. So I just duplicate that layer and I drag it underneath the color layer. And then again, I just double click that layer, hit the stroke, and there it is. So it's just a stroke on the outline layer. All right. I had a question on the script. How far ahead do I plan the story before sitting down to write the script? Well, like I said in my previous video, I had 2 different stories that I combined for Plume, and it was just a matter of writing out the overall plot of what, I had the characters that I've been using for these stories, so I kind of had them and their personalities in mind. And then I just started writing down concepts and then overall arcs and just started jotting things down. And I do very loose writing. When it comes down to the chapter itself, I will write out a synopsis of what needs to happen, what needs to be said. But for the most part, I like to allow for happy accidents. Like if you're roughing out something and I don't know, like an expression comes through that a character is pissed and it's, they're not supposed to be. I just like to keep it a little more lax, a little more fluid than sticking to the script. Because that's the beauty of being the artist as well as the writer, is that you can allow those changes as the story progresses. I definitely like to hit the points that I want to hit, but let the story tell itself as I go. Does that make sense? You can see on the left there, I have a reference shot of myself holding a bottle of liquor. Yes, I like Jack Daniels. Put your judgment away. But I do this a lot, especially for hands. I do reference shots through my photo booth on my lovely Mac, and there's such a collection of glorious shots. But yeah, I do that every now and then to see, to get the angle right and all that. But I thought it was pretty important for this character, Hunter, to be introduced. He has to come in and kind of pull these 3 together and progress the story. Because I think if they were left to their own devices, they would sit there and sulk for quite a bit. So I thought it was pretty important for him to have a cool big panel. So that's why I kind of set up the page this way, is the same 3 shots, and then the one different one is the one that has a punch. And you see here that with my rough work, I actually have 2 layers. I got the hand and the bottle where I want it, and then I did another layer to work his face. Because I knew working the head up there would be cumbersome to get the space right. So I usually do that when it's kind of an odd angle for the character. So I always get his face right, and then work on the composition of the panel. Coming from a storyboarding background through animation classes and all that, film and video classes, they always talk about composition, the left and right stage, eye line, close-ups, mid-shot, establishing shots, all that. And I always have that in mind when I'm doing panels. I'm always thinking about what it would look like as an animation or as a movie. My mindset's more in that area than an actual comic. And speaking of movie, somebody asked if it was a live-action cast, who would I choose as actors? Well, that is a very good question. If I had my dream cast, it'd probably be Natalie Portman for Vesper, Jensen Ackles, because I just want to see him with white hair. For Tegan, I think Emily Blunt would be really cool for Tegan. Gotta give her red hair, of course. Gosh, for Dom, I'll have to take suggestions from you guys who you think Dom would be. And of course, Will Smith for Hunter. 'Cause I think I might have had him in my mind when I was designing him a little bit. It's the ears. A little bit of Will Smith ears. All right, disclaimer on here. I sped this one up. This was going to be like a half-hour video, so I had to speed up the last part of this. After I got all the label done and everything, and I took a step back, I noticed that the bottle in his hand was massive. So I actually copied and pasted the whole thing on top of it and then just painted in the correction, if that makes sense. Definitely had to do last-minute adjustments on that bottle because that looked massive. So, okay, well, there's that page. Again, comment, suggest, and subscribe. Bye, guys.